The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
A wonderful way to start your day. More interviews, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to the Sandy Kastel Show. I am here with Wendy Karigianes. Hi, Wendy.
How you doing, Sandy?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
She is such a talented lady. In fact, we met, in 2012? You were on the very first Sandy Kastel show, which was called Women in Music and Arts.
That's right.
And that was on KLAV, which was later owned by Lotus Broadcasting. And that's how we met. Yeah.
That's right.
So here we are today. How many years later? Gosh,
5 years later.
5 years later. And we're still going strong, and we keep getting younger and more beautiful every day.
That's right.
At least you do.
And you.
Yes. So you're doing things all around town. In fact, I just saw you a couple weeks ago, I saw you over at the one of the hotels, Marriott?
At the Marriott.
The Marriott. And that was a new thing. You did a brunch, I think, on Sunday?
A Sunday brunch, yeah.
Oh, that was so nice.
That was so early.
So early, I know. At 9 o'clock or
Grill.
whatever. What time did you text me? You texted me first thing in the morning.
It was really early. We started at 9 a.m.
Oh, you started at 9, so you texted me like 7 something.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm inviting you to come and see me. I went, really, Wendy? So I went over there, and I had brunch, and the brunch was fabulous.
Yes.
And
yeah,
I had
food's
champagne,
great.
of course. You know, they had a champagne brunch. And you had a great band with you.
Yes, that's my band. They're the Artist Soul.
Yeah.
And we work together at Vintner Grill on Thursdays, and then we work together at our house gig at Tuscany in the Piazza Lounge on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to do this brunch gig maybe once a month, and as all of us get off at midnight, running home to get up early to be there at 8. But it's a beautiful place, and all the places we work at are so lovely, and they're so nice to work at.
Yeah, you have great venues. Yeah,
Yes,
I've
very
been to the
fortunate.
Tuscany. That's a nice room there.
We love
Yeah.
Tuscany.
And the Vintner
We love
Grill, oh my gosh,
Yes.
you sit there in the bar, and it's a really nice bar. They have a great happy hour,
Yes.
which is the popular thing now, happy hour, and having music
Yeah.
while you're sitting there enjoying wonderful food and great music is wonderful. Yeah, I love the Vintner Grill
I do
and Tuscany,
too.
and of course now the Rampart or Marriott.
Yeah, Marriott
Yeah,
Hawthorne
yeah.
Grill, and we just started that, so we're working that in, and it's lovely. After we got there, we were like, wow, this is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that there's a east side and a west side, because once in a while I still do the dispensary lounge.
All right.
So I'll be doing that at the end of the month with Uli and his
Yeah.
group, and that's a whole different type of thing, because it's more of a late night 10 to 2 a.m. jazz
Yeah.
musical crazy kind of a very different scene, more where they smoke cigarettes in there.
Well,
Stuff
the
like
dispensary actually has great hamburgers.
They do,
They
voted
have
number one.
wonderful food, and it's a nice little cozy atmosphere,
Yes.
which is really nice. And the stage is elevated a little bit.
And my brother bartends there, and
And
he's
yes. So, if you say hi, hey, are you Wendy's brother? Can I get a cocktail?
John. Just ask for John.
But yeah, in fact, you've worked with Uli a long time. In fact, you introduced him to the dispensary lounge, I understand.
Yes, and it was actually my brother who started bartending and kept pushing to put music in there. He wanted me to sing there, and I was moving to Los Angeles at the time.
I know.
And so I had a meeting with Adele, the owner, and she's like, okay, we'll give it a try. So Uli and I got together, and we went in there, and we did a few shows, and then I said, I'm moving. So, and he took it over, and he curated a great jazz series, and I would come in once a month to do shows with him. And then, that's lasted, I think, 5 years now.
It's been a long time, yeah.
And so I still go over there. I go over there every 4 months, and then I brought my own band in maybe 4 months ago, I think it was. And now this last time I did it with Uli and the guys and Angelo and whoever is on bass that night, usually Dave Ostrom or somebody else.
Now, who's that plays? Gary was the one that plays guitar? Or no, who plays guitar?
Over there
Yeah.
at the dispensary.
Oh no, that's a different location.
Yeah.
You're right. You're regular.
I've done it with. I actually brought Brandon Fields in over the
okay.
dispensary with John Wiedemeyer and a lot of
Okay.
other great musicians. And now I bring when you get your own band finally, that's people that are committed and they're enthusiastic about what you do, and I like to bring them with me because we're so comfortable. But Uli
Sure.
and I have a really great set of music that we've worked through for the
Yeah.
years, and so we call it our greatest hits. So, so we'll be going back to do that at the end of the month as well.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar with Wendy, which you should be because she's playing all over town now, but she does a very unique style of singing, and I want to ask you and to explain that a little bit to our audience, because you take songs that are different, from different genres, different styles of songs, and you create a whole new way of singing it that's your style, so that half the time when people hear a song, they don't even recognize, they know it's your song, but they, I mean, you did some songs the other day that I was like, wow, I hadn't heard that before. Yeah, it was nice.
It usually comes from just being an artist, and having the guys, I'll look at them, they laugh at me every night, because I'll say, okay, play, whether it's Satin Doll or something else, and I'll say, but just play it different. Play it, and I'll ask one of them to start it. I'll say, okay, tonight, Brian, you start it. My guitar player, Brian Bissell, and he comes up with a lot of great things. Or Boris, you start it this way. Or Ronnie had to get used to this, because Ronnie wasn't used to, he was used to playing everything as it was written.
Right.
But I find that gets very boring, and when you can create and you can be on the spot and do things and interpret them in the moment, it becomes art. And you don't ever get tired of singing the song then. Now it becomes something new every single time. It becomes challenging for your mind. So I like the challenge and the way you're able to just, it's like get a new canvas up and paint.
You're actually creating new synapses, in your brain every time you do that. Did
I-
you know that?
I didn't. Maybe that's what keeps me functioning.
It keeps you young and youthful. No, really, when you do things that are different, and if you're doing, I didn't realize you did that so much on the spot. I know, obviously, you're doing variations, but I didn't know you did that where you would just say, okay, start it, and then you just went with it.
Yeah.
Now, the other day you did do one song, though, that I said, when you started singing, I went, wow, that is so different. And you were singing, your melody was so different too. I mean, it was really a stretch.
Was it a foggy day? Because
it might have been.
And that's one that Ronnie came up with,
Yeah.
what we call on the spot. And then
Right.
we end up getting these really great arrangements just because.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're able to open up your soul and you find these tunes are still so great, but you don't want to sing them anymore because they're redundant and they've been done so much. But when the guys feel a part of it and they're able to arrange, they're able to have their creative, flow going,
Yeah.
and then they're excited.
Yeah.
So every week we're excited because we get to, I'll call them during the week and I'll say, hey guys, learn this song, and we don't rehearse. Our rehearsal is on.
The set.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, start it. And they'll say, who's starting? And I'll just go, okay, just go ahead. Let's do this one differently.
Well, the other thing that was really nice about that room, particularly, we'll talk a little bit about the Marriott there. The nice thing was, I know at first, I think one of the musicians said something about, well, we've got to make sure we're not too loud because of the timing of the day. It's an early morning brunch. They start it early. It's not middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's 9:00 in the morning, and you've got people kind of milling around and getting breakfast, and so they're all kind of waking up. But the volume was so nice. I mean, and you didn't really need to have a loud volume there anyway. You know what I mean? And you guys were playing these things where it was like the difference between, like, when we get up in the morning and, unless we crank it, with something that's heavy metal, I don't know. But it was a real nice volume, and I didn't feel like you guys were holding back or anything at all. It felt really nice. It was comfortable. And the mix of songs, and I was listening to the different people talk a little bit about it, and they were saying, even afterwards, they were saying, yeah, it was so nice, So I think you won a lot of hearts that day, a lot of new listeners that maybe hadn't heard you in the other venues before.
That's so wonderful to hear, because it's such a difference from the east side.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of west siders that will come down to Tuscany every Saturday.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like to drive so far, so they'll have vintners. But at Piazza Lounge we can dance, and we've got such a nice setup now. we put the candelabras on the stage, and we've created a nice ambiance there, and it's, you know, it's been about a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years.
Yeah, the Tuscany offers a lot of different performers each night. I know Kelly Clinton's down there on Wednesday nights, right? And then who's the guy that's on Fridays?
Kenny Davidson.
Kenny Davidson, and he always has a variety of people sitting in with him too. You every once in a while have somebody sit in with you. It's not meant to do that though. Your show is not, but occasionally you'll have somebody sit in.
We'll have we've had some great players come in, like Jeff Peaver on guitar, and John Wiedemeyer, and of course Joey. Joey had to leave because he went back out with Manilow.
Joey Malati.
We
I
love
know Joey. Where are you?
We love our Joey.
He had to go out with Barry Manilow. I just, that's too bad.
And John, of course, is with Bill Medley.
Yeah.
So, it became to where they were gone so much. I was like every week going, okay, who am I going to get this week? Who am I going to get this week? And a lot of people aren't used to playing, like being able to do things
on the spot.
Yes, we started calling it on the spot band when Joey and John were with us.
Yeah.
Boris has always been there from the get-go.
Yeah.
He's
so he's familiar.
He did the CD with me, and we're getting ready to do another CD also.
Really? Where are you going to record it?
We're going to record it over at some of it at Randy Hall's house, doing a lot of vocals, and probably over at Bill Zappia's studio.
Oh.
And there's another new place I just heard about that I'm looking into. But, it's hard getting the schedules together, and I always do my vocals at Randy Hall's house.
Do you? You like it? You comfortable there?
He and I have been working together for so many years.
I've never been to his studio. Either one of those studios that you're talking about. I know about another set of studios.
Bill's is new.
So,
Bill's is just kind of new. He had it like it was his man cave, and now he moved into his house. So I'm waiting for the house studio to open up, and and there's a lot of great studios. Vinny Castaldo has a studio here called oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it. A lot of performers go there, but it's on the east side.
Gee, I think I'm out of the loop a little bit. I haven't been recording. I need to start going around all the studios.
And Joey's got a studio.
And Joey's studio is amazing.
It sure
I haven't
is.
recorded there yet. Joey.
So
hurry up and get back
there.
I want to do some new stuff too, but we'll talk about that. We should do something together.
I would love to.
Really, that'd be a lot of fun.
We couldn't be surrounded with better arrangers. We have
in
Joey,
town.
we have Bill Zappia, we've got, we have some of the greatest talent in the city. And I think a lot of people don't understand Vegas. They think, I'm going to go to Los Angeles, I'm going to go to New York. And I say, well, when Vegas is so wonderful because there's venues opening up all the time.
Yeah.
And there is jazz. There's jazz at the Dispensary Lounge. There's jazz at the Tuscany. There's jazz at Vintner Grill. There are these little pockets and secret places that do feature different people. You just have to get out and...
It's kind of like the old days a little bit, kind of in New York. You went to the Blue Note. I mean, that was a little place,
Yeah.
Then, of course, it was there for years before I ever went there, of course. But then when I remember going back there, that was one of the first places in New York I saw. And that long room. Have you been there?
I have not been to the Blue
Oh, you
Note in
haven't?
New York.
Oh, and then they opened up the Blue Note here, and it was unfortunately not run very well. And I sang there, and I got the opportunity. But they had the two rooms. They had a small room, little intimate room that was reminiscent of the Blue Note back in New York, and then they had the larger venue that you could seat about 250 people, and you had a big stage, where you could put the big band, which was great. It's just too bad, it was so short.
I think it was
so
timing, and I think that's when jazz really wasn't so much here, whereas now it's really...
Yeah, the Suncoast used to do jazz. They used to bring bands in, over there, and then they stopped. It was really great. They were doing it in that room, that seats about 750 people, and it was nice.
I didn't know
yeah,
that either.
Yeah, I got to see some great people there. So, back to you, Wendy. We can talk about music all day long, no matter what kind. I think you've brought us some clips today.
I did.
So I want to get right into those, and I know we're going to have a message from our sponsors in a few minutes. So tell us a little bit about this first clip that you brought.
I think the first one I sent you is an EPK, just basically of little clips of the past 5 years, maybe 6 years, or some from the Baked Potato in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh, I was there.
Yes. Isn't that such a great place?
I love that place, yeah.
I love it. It's never changed in how many years it's been there.
I know.
And it was great to do a live taping there. And then there's some clips from, I don't know if there's any dispensary clips, but from the Smith Center, and there's originals on there and different.
Live?
They're
all live clips, right?
All live clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So this is Wendy Karigianes, and we are going to see her EPK of some of her different performances here over the past 5 years in Las Vegas and in Los Angeles.
And Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Cause he knows I'm gonna stay in California, dreaming all the winter's day. California, dreaming. Oh, 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 oh. California, dreaming on a cocoa road.
My style comes from just life, experiencing life.
We was the willow lying on her pillow. She fell into a dream, felt the wind blowing her leaves, felt the sun, felt the rain in the labyrinth. She gazed. That's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs of carousel. I'm hoping and praying, hoping he can be found. I'm on the loose, and I don't dig it. Take my advice. If you find a man, girl, hold on tight. Don't let him, don't let him hold on to him tight.
I mean, for me, at least on my path, it was never to emulate someone. It was always to honor someone.
Time to hesitate is through. No need to wallow in the mire. Try now, we could only lose. And our love becomes a funeral pyre. Follow the road takes you to a place where there's no pain, no pain. It is turning to a different time and space where you will face with pains and you will be sure.
This is a journey, and I think music will always be that, and art will always be a journey. There's never a point and place we get to. We have to love what we do. It's our passion, and it's what we give back to humanity is the gift we've been given. And
The greatest thing you ever learned is just to love and be loved in return.
Hi, and welcome back to the Sandy Kastel Show. I'm here with Wendy Karigianes. Hi, Wendy. Welcome back. Now we have some water to drink. We're like, here, we can toast each other. There we go. So refreshing. And it's a good way to stay fit and fabulous forever,
that's right.
as you've been
Plenty of
doing,
water.
I see. So tell us a little bit about your Fit and Fabulous program that you do to keep yourself fit and fabulous.
I like doing yoga, and I haven't been able to do it lately, but I'm getting back to it because I finally have found somebody who can work with my neck issues and body issues, but I think yoga is so therapeutic. Just people think you go to yoga and you're stretching and you're on your head and you're doing kinds of backflips, but you're not. You're just actually just basically stretching. And if you go into a heated room that's like 84 degrees, and I love this place called Namaste, and it's just wonderful. My teacher, she's a very spiritual woman. And you go in there, and it's a group of people from 30 to 75 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe there's 8 people, maybe there's 12, but it's stretching, and it just, I feel like it's therapy. When I come out of there, I feel like very calm, and I come out of there, and nothing can bother me, and there's no road rage, no.
Well, I go over to Sherry Golding's, you know.
What is that?
She's over on Sahara, near Cimarron, Buffalo, in that area. And I have, again, I've been saying to myself, I've got to get back out there and go to her classes. And it's a beginning class, but what I love is that everybody's at their own level.
Yes.
And like you said, it's not so much, I mean, yes, towards the end, everybody can go at their own pace. So, and at their own level. And so if you see somebody doing a certain pose, if they go to that next level, that's fine, but you don't have to. You go to where we are at our place, you know. And I like it because it's, like you said, it's a lot of stretching, and it's slow stretching. It's so that you're allowing your muscles to just relax into whatever that pose is.
It is, and we learn about the breath, and the breath is so important, because in any kind of situation, it's if we don't have our breath and if we don't have our breathing down, whether it's a stressful situation, panic, once you learn how to and breathe through things, you can breathe through so much things in your life. The breath to me is everything. I've taught my father that, who has breathing issues right now, and I give him peppermint oil. I'm into essential oils and that kind of
That's
stuff.
right, I forgot about peppermint oil. That's great for breathing. You can put it right on your temples.
Headaches,
you know that?
freezing out pain,
Right.
and it's, you know, essential oils are pretty amazing. And of course our diet matters. Sugar is, as we know, is
Chocolate cake all the time.
yes. Good baklava,
Cheesecake, you know.
pastries, and you know.
My mom, in her wisdom, I'll tell you, my mom used to say, everything in moderation.
That's my dad too.
Yeah.
Not my mom, but my dad.
But if we could, that's the way I feel it's the best. And sometimes, look, the whole Fit and Fabulous Forever thing for me is all about being as good as we can be wherever we are at the space and time that we are in our lives, because a lot of times we're going through things where maybe we are eating a little bit more because we need a little bit more nurturing, and we eat the comfort foods.
Yes.
Okay, I went through that a few years back, you know, when I
so
went
did
through.
I.
And then there's times when you're very active and you're into doing a lot of exercise, and so it depends on where we're at. And then also wearing the clothes that fit us, where we are at that time in our lives. Because I have, for the longest period, I was one weight, you know, for like 40 years, and then I gained a little bit more weight, and then I had to get a bigger size.
Yes, I know that story very well.
And so, but you know,
closet is not big enough anymore.
Yeah, and you can either beat yourself up about it, or you say, hey, go to the store and get yourself a 6 instead of a 4. What's the difference, you know? And so for me, it's about that overall package where we're at, and yoga is very good, like you said, because it helps us with our breathing.
And walking, even
walking is a great exercise.
In the summer here in Vegas, walking is just not possible.
Yeah,
Unless you
in
get
the
up at 5
morning
a.m.
at 5 o'clock in the morning.
If you have a really big dog with you.
Well, you know, a lot of people go up to Red Rock and ride bikes, but they go really, really early in the morning.
Yes.
Mostly it's spring and fall, but in the summer they've got to get up really early. So you have your routine for being fit and fabulous forever, and so we always have to talk a little bit about that. So what about, do you drink lemon water or anything like that?
I
you
do.
like that?
Every day I drink 3 glasses at least of fresh lemon or fresh lime and water, and I love it. It makes drinking water so much better, and I live on a property that has well water, which I'm very fortunate. So
That's good.
And sometimes I'll just go out and buy the alkalized water just to have that. And but I love lemon. Lemon alkalizes your body as well. So
yeah, I have a lemon tree. So
Well,
but now I'm on the limes. Now I have the limes, so I can use both. But I'll do that in the restaurants also. I'll ask for lemons and limes. And Eloise started me on that, you know, because they use lemons, limes, and mint leaves in mojitos, right?
Yes.
Well, if you just have that in water, just the lime, you know, the lemon and lime, and you can put the lime, the mint leaves in there too. That's really good. It's refreshing.
Oh, yeah, and you can soak them
Yeah.
in there too, in the glass
Right.
container in the fridge. And we can do that with
Yeah.
the fruits in there and make our own.
Yeah.
Those are things that you can do. I teach my mom that because she does not
Yeah.
like drinking water. She thinks coffee is her water, so I tell her, Mom, you have to use fruit. You have to make yourself get used to, liking it. So
Right.
we do the.
Right. Well, also, I'm sure as you are an entertainer, you're a performer, you're a vocalist, and your body is your temple.
Yes, this is true. We have to feel good to be able to get up there 3 days a week or however many it is. And I like 3 days a week. I feel very fortunate and blessed to be what I'm doing now. And like my staple gigs are Thursdays and Saturdays. And it's nice to get excited to go, oh great, I get to go sing tonight. This is so much fun. It's not like looking at it as a gig, it's a show. And I formatted these so they are shows. So they're not, we do a 40-minute set and a 20-minute break. I do it so there's a show that we put on for people. And they get
Right.
there and they get, and sometimes we'll play more than an hour. We'll go to an hour and 10 minutes. And you do have to have your energy and be fit, and you can't not be in, not in the best of shape, because whether we feel bad or whatever, we still have to get up there
And
and
smile and sing.
and sing.
And sound our best.
And sound our best and smile and go, my neck is hurting in my back right now, and oh my gosh, if you only knew.
So breathe.
Just let me just
Breathe through it. So how do you handle the dryness here?
I'm used to it. I am so used to it, except when I came back from California, because I know a lot of singers move here and they get, what do they call it, Vegas throat. But I think because I was born and raised here, I'm so used to it. I have allergies, though, and that's something I haven't gotten used to.
I just picked up some honey that's from the local honey
yes.
down at the Summerlin Mall, downtown Summerlin Mall. They had one of their things. They had an art show there this weekend, and then they also had that honey. So I've got that, and I've been having some tea,
It
the
helps.
Breathe Easy tea.
Yes, the Breathe Easy or the throat coat tea. with
Throat
the
coat,
licorice
yes.
root in it. We know
Chick
our
singer
herbs.
stuff. No, guys use it too, but this is like little tricks of the trade. And but I started putting a teaspoon of the honey in each one, in each cup of tea, because if you take it, then it's supposed to help you with your allergies locally.
And there's
I
royal
figured I
bee-
should start that. Yeah.
Royal bee jelly also.
I used to do that.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
When I lived in Los Angeles, my bass player would bring that, and he'd say, just take this. And when I was doing my crazy no sugar, which now I know to do fruit sugars, because fruit is not bad for you. People think, oh, fruit's, not a good thing if you're trying to lose weight. And it's totally not true. If you cut out your complex carbs, you could have peas, you could have all of your carbohydrates. And, I did that for 4 months, and I didn't drink any alcohol or anything. And 20 pounds just came off. And I'm fortunate it stayed off, because I still eat a little sugar now.
Well, alcohol has a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
It has a lot of sugar in it, and even having a glass of wine, a couple glasses of wine each night at dinner,
One is like, no, it's a
it adds up. Only a couple. But yeah, I can't eat too many fruits, though. I have to be careful and only can do so many, because if it's got too much acid in it,
I think that the
Yeah.
eat right for your blood type has something
Yeah.
to it. The A's and the B's and the O's.
What about biotin? Are you taking biotin now?
No, I've heard
They've all
about
found out about it. Like 10,000 IUs a day, darling.
Is that why your hair looks so
It's for your
fabulous?
hair, yes. It's growing out. And of course, let's see, what do we do for our skin? E and A.
Yeah, pack it on.
Yeah, pack it on. Well, okay, so overall, and there's also the mind, and there's the mind, body, and soul. It hasn't changed, throughout our
No.
entire eternity. It's still the same things. So it's eating a relatively healthy diet as much as we can, and having those fun things that we want to have every once in a while, and not eating them too much, right? And lemon water and lemons and limes and all that is very good for us to have. And continue to keep our bodies internally alkaline, because that is supposed to be better for us
Yes.
overall in so many ways. And then, of course, exercise. But also there's the mind, which breathing and yoga, of course, is nice and calms us down a lot.
Yes.
Do you do anything else for your mind?
Painting.
Painting.
And and
I saw
singing.
one of your paintings that you gave to your brother. Was that one of yours?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Did you see
on
that?
Facebook. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was for my nephew. That
Oh,
one.
nephew. Sorry, nephew.
That was for, and they all have one. Now my niece is waiting for one, and I'm like, you have to hold on a second. Just
Give you a chance.
I've got so many at home, and I want to do a showing, but there's always the shyness. Performing wise, there's never shyness, but art,
It's
as
a
you know,
little
you're an
different.
artist also,
Yes.
and when you're putting your artwork in front of people, you're like, oh my gosh, are they going to like this? Are they going to, because it's so different, and I'm an abstract artist, so, there's all different kinds of art.
Speaking of art, we have pictures of your artwork, and we can share them. So, yes, we'll probably be showing some of them through the show, during the show, but maybe we can do a little collage of them. John? So we're going to take a little break and a little pause for our sponsors because, sponsors are very important. And if you'd like to sponsor the Sandy Kastel Show, you can just contact us at thesandykastelshow@gmail.com. And Wendy, of course, has her website. Where's your
It's
website?
Wendy Sings with an I, Wendy with an I, like Sandy.
We've got, yeah.
Sandy and Windy like the wind.
We go-
Sandy with the stormy, dusty wind.
Today, it's windy and sandy. So be careful out there. Anyway, we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors with more of artwork by Wendy Karigianes.
Retrospects is a purveyor, if you will, of historical eyewear. Retrospects is located on the second floor, right across from the chandelier bar. So when you look at our store from the outside, it looks like there isn't much going on in here. And then you open the drawers. We actually carry authentic pieces from the late 1890s to the 1990s. We have almost 3,000 pieces in here. It's like a treasure trove reveal. We do have a collection of new glasses that we have reproduced ourselves. It's called the Cuthbert and Chen collection. The safe is our jewel. It's our baby. We love it. It's from 1903. It weighs as much as a car. It's solid steel. We use the safe to hold our most precious pieces, our museum collection, if you will. People come in to find glasses that are not something they're going to find everywhere else. Not something all their friends are wearing, and something that they can tell that story. We sell stories as much as we sell glasses. We have pieces that we can associate with very famous people from history, movies, special events that happened in the past. And some of the favorites are the Ray-Ban shooter that Johnny Depp wore in Fear and Loathing of Las Vegas, the beautiful frame France Parisian plastic aviator worn by Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. Retrospects is not just about glasses, it's about the experience, it's about how these glasses make you feel. We are a full-service optical shop, somewhere where guests can come to get repairs, restoration, can put their prescription in, can get them a quick pair of sunglasses for the pool, and can give them a really great, just fun experience.
Hi, and welcome back to the Sandy Kastel Show. I'm here with Wendy Karigianes. You got a new name there. And we got a chance to see you singing that was at the Summit, and that's a country club?
The country club
Okay.
over in Summerlin, in Sun City. They started doing a jazz series over there and a
See,
blues night.
another thing I didn't know about. How often are they doing that?
I think they do it once a month, and each month they book a different artist, and it's really lovely. It's really nice. It's a listening crowd, and it's a lovely room that's all glass, overlooking the city. So the whole city lights up behind you, and we do one show there. It's like an hour and 15-minute show.
Mm.
So that was a clip from this was This was about 3 months ago, maybe, or 4
Yeah.
months ago, maybe longer.
That was nice. You sound great as always.
When I told John earlier when I had my cold.
Oh, when you had your coat, and we couldn't tell.
I was like, oh gosh, why does it have to be now?
So, all right. Let's talk a little bit about your start in music. We'll go back a little bit to when you were just a little girl. And how did you get started?
I started singing because my dad sang and he played guitar, and so I would sit with him and he called me Tinkerbell. So he'd say, "Come on, Tink, come sing this and come do the harmonies," and he'd play all these Elvis songs. But I wanted to play guitar, and we grew up and the parents were at work all the time, so my brothers would have all their friends over and they'd have parties and music parties where they'd set up and they would play, and so I wanted to play guitar until 6th grade. I saw a friend of mine, or I didn't know her then, but I saw her sing, and so I was like, okay, that's it, that's what I want to do. And I ended up becoming best friends with her and a couple of other girls from school in 6th grade. And she would teach me how to put a phone book on my belly and how to sing, and how to do the breathing, and I sang every single day.
Wow.
And did everything I could. And then I started singing professionally at 16, and I finished school.
And you finished school. I'm so glad you finished school.
I finished school before I was 17.
When I was 17, it was a very good year.
It was.
Yeah.
I was downtown at the top of the Mint Hotel.
Oh, really?
And
I was at the Four Queens when I did 17. You were 16. I was 17.
Oh, my
Of course, I
gosh.
was a few years before you, but
It was interesting. That was back when Vegas was
Vegas.
Yes, when Vegas
The old
was big.
Vegas.
The
It
old
was
Vegas.
the old Vegas, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, Vegas is still great today.
It is.
Okay, like you said, you've got some new venues that are coming up with some jazz. I didn't even realize that, they were doing that out there in Summerlin. So,
They do that. There's
yeah.
it's a nice place. I'm trying to think of a few other places, but there's
Okay, so when you started at the top of the Mint,
top of the Mint.
and then what happened?
And then I got into a band called C'est La Vie, and I was 17, and they had a lot of road gigs. So in the band there was a woman named Tamara, who was just a lovely, lovely lady, and she was older than I was, and my mom trusted her to, that we could go on the road. She completely was like, "Don't worry, we'll take care of her. She's fine." And we went to like Wendover and to Reno and Carson City and New Mexico, and traveled in the back of a van, which was really interesting, which was really funny because sometimes it was snowing, and I did that, and then just started singing in all the lounges, and then I moved to New York City for a while. And then I ended up in Los Angeles, and I stayed out there for many years. And that was a whole different route in singing. That was learning to write and record. And actually, when I was 17, I'd go to the Bay Area, and I had a friend out there whose father, his best friend was a music teacher. And so I would go out there, and I would stay with his mother, and he would teach me music, but not in the sense of a very different type of way. He had me gargling with stuff because I didn't have a falsetto voice, and he really taught me how to sing, breathe, and write music. He told me you have to record yourself. If you don't record yourself and listen to yourself, you won't know how you sound. So at 17, I started doing that.
Well, that's really great. I mean, to start that young doing that.
I
Yeah.
tell people that. I tell young kids that if you're going to sing, always make sure you tape yourself. This way you know how you sound. And then you can fix what you hear is wrong.
Yeah, well, we didn't have tape machines back then when I was doing it.
Well, we were on cassettes.
No, actually, we did. Yeah, we had cassettes. Yeah, I carried a record player around with me, a portable record
my
player,
gosh, that's
and I
funny.
had records of different singers that I was able to take with
That's
me when I was
wonderful.
traveling around. Yeah. So so then you went to San Francisco. That must have been great, and
That
then
was
L.A.
great.
and then New York. Now New York, you kind of have a New York style look to you.
New York was
I would
interesting.
think
I
a
was.
little
I
bit.
think I was too young at the time in New York because I was culture shocked because
Yeah, it's a lot
you get in your
different.
car and you drive everywhere, and there you get you walk on the street and everybody's looking at you, and you have to go walk and carry your groceries or get on a subway, and you're like, oh my gosh. And here you can become a hermit and be in your house and not, go outside in your sweats. But out in New York, you have to be dressed, or it's you're always looked at. And it was very different. When I was a young girl, I was like kind of shocked and scared.
So did California fit more with your style?
It
did. You feel more
LA.
comfortable?
I liked LA. I just didn't care for the traffic.
Nobody likes the traffic. I don't like the traffic, but I still like LA. I mean, there's certain things that I love about it because you're close to the ocean.
Yes.
You can drive, half an hour and get to the ocean wherever you are in LA.
That's what I like about LA.
Or I should say half an hour or 2 hours.
Depending after you're in the car.
Oh, but the good thing about LA. All right, the good thing about LA being in traffic is that we would listen to stuff. We would, put the CD player. I mean, it was CDs not CDs. It was tapes, cassettes. So I had cassettes, and I would vocalize. I do my vocalizing in the car. I could put in a tape and listen to music, learn songs while you're driving that hour to go wherever you're going. So you had a kind of a peacefulness when you were driving, if you were doing those kinds of things and just kind of going with the flow of the traffic.
Yes, and that still holds true today, because in Vegas we have our traffic, and I think if people would just learn to put in music, put on music in their car, music is there's a healing source right there. When you say, what do you do to heal? I listen to a lot of Native American music.
Oh, I love that. Those
too.
Flutes.
Yes, the Native American flutes. I can play Jesse Kalu and put on Carlos Nakai, and I'll let it just roll 24 hours, 7. And my mom asked me one day, how do you listen to that all the time? I go, you just zone out. You just zone out, and it takes you to a place where you're so peaceful.
The challenge is the phones today.
Yes,
I think for all of us, a lot of us.
It is, but also you can use your phone for good things like
music.
Yes,
now
for the music.
Yes, and you can plug it in, or now they have Bluetooth, and so it just plays automatically. And all the new cars aren't even putting CD players in their cars.
Which I think it's terrible, because
I do too.
I have my car has a CD and a cassette, and I will always require
and
that.
A cassette.
And a cassette.
How old is your car?
It's a 2005.
It is.
It is.
And you got both?
And
oh my gosh!
Impeccable shape, and it's beautiful, and the sound system is amazing, and it has a cassette, and I love that.
I can't believe this time has already gone by so quickly. It's like, I tell you, we could talk forever. We've got to have you come back on again. We'll wait a few months. We'll have you do some more shows and then come back on again.
Maybe when you guys get your new place up and running.
Oh,
stage,
yes,
which
that
is
would
gonna
be great.
Wonderful.
I know. Then we'll have the band come on and play.
Yes, I'm so happy that John shared with me what you're doing, because it's going to be amazing, and I know it's just a couple months away.
Just a few months.
I'm promoting you guys right now. So stay tuned, because this is soon going to be on with a huge stage and a great room, and it's going to be just incredible. I'm so happy and excited for you.
Thank you. I want to thank you for coming on the show again.
Thank you, Sandy.
And check out her music. Go see her at either the Tuscany. Now, tell your nights. Yes.
Every Saturday at the Piazza Lounge inside the Tuscany. It's where you go into the room, check your rooms. It's not the casino side, because that's the showroom. We're there every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 12, and every Thursday at Vintner Grill on West Charleston. We're there 7 to 10. And then the dispensary, I'll be there the last Friday of this month, the Dispensary Lounge, and that's 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning for all you late-nighters.
And then for the early risers, once a month, you'll be giving us a date.
Yeah, November 12th is the next date for the Hawthorne Grill from 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Hawthorne Grill at the JW Marriott on November 12th, and that's going to be fun also. It's a very classy, beautiful atmosphere.
Okay. Well, we'll be seeing Wendy Karigianes around town at all the very special venues that she plays at. Thank you again so much for coming.
Thank you.
And hope you guys have a great day. And remember to watch out for Wendy and Sandy.
The storm is coming.
The storm is coming. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kastel, the founder of WIMA. What is WIMA? WIMA is Women in Music and Arts, empowering artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. You can find out more about us at wimafoundation.org.
A foggy day in London. you very much.